The Bag of Dreams, the Louis Vuitton story. Part 1, Young Louis. Louis was born in a small town in France. He was not a rich boy. His family worked with leather. Louis saw his father and mother make bags. He helped them. He touched the leather. He saw how they sewed it. He felt happy and curious. One day, Louis said to his father, "I like your bags. I want to make my own." His father smiled. He said, "Yes, Louis, you can learn." Louis felt strong and proud. Every morning, Louis went to the workshop. It was a small room with a table and tools. He used scissors, needles, thread, and leather pieces. He learned slowly. He made small wallets at first. He practiced every day. Louis saved money. He sold his wallets in the local market. People saw his work. They liked his simple style. They told their friends. Louis sold more and more. At age 20, Louis wanted more. He wanted to go to Paris, the big city. He said, "My town is small. I need more people. I need a big city." His mother was sad. She said, "Are you sure?" Louis nodded. His eyes were bright. He felt brave. He packed his few tools and a small leather bag. He said goodbye to his family. They hugged him. They gave him hope. They trusted him. Louis felt their love. He took the small bag and walked to the train station. The train ride was long. Louis looked out the window. He saw fields, farms, and other towns. He thought, "This is my journey. Paris is my dream." His heart beat fast. He felt both nervous and excited. When the train arrived in Paris, Louis stepped off. The city was huge. He saw tall buildings, busy streets, and many people. He held his small bag close. He felt small in the big city, but he felt hope. He thought, "I can do it." Louis looked for work. He found a job in a small leather shop. It was not his own shop yet, but he learned more. He met new people. He saw new ideas. He felt his dream grow. He thought of his family. He thought of his town. He thought, "One day I will open my own shop here." And he smiled. Part 2, Learning in Paris. Louis worked every day in the small leather shop. The shop made boxes and bags. Rich people came to buy them. They wanted beautiful things for travel. Louis watched and listened. He cleaned the floor. He gave tools to the workers. He learned with his eyes. One day, the shop owner said, "Louis, help me make this box." Louis was ready. He used what he learned at home. He cut the leather. He used glue and thread. His hands moved slow but sure. The owner smiled. "You have talent," he said. Louis smiled too. His heart felt warm. Years passed. Louis made more and more things. He made boxes, bags, and trunks. He worked hard. He never stopped learning. One day, a man came into the shop. He wore nice clothes. He had a kind face. He said, "I am the personal box maker to the emperor's wife." Louis was surprised. The man looked at Louis' work. Then he said, "Come work with me." Louis was happy. He said yes. Now, Louis worked for the wife of Emperor Napoleon III. Her name was Eugenie. She was a fashion queen. She had many dresses, hats, and shoes. She needed good boxes to carry them. Louis made strong, pretty boxes. He used flat tops. Most boxes then had round tops, but Louis had a new idea. Flat boxes were easier to stack. They saved space. They were smart. People saw his new style. They liked it. They started to order from Louis. Soon, Louis had many rich clients. But he still worked with his hands. He was careful. He wanted every box to be perfect. Then came a big problem. A war started in France. The city became dangerous. Shops closed. People left. Louis also left Paris. He stayed in a small town. He had little money. He had little food. But he did not stop dreaming. He said to himself, "When the war ends, I will build my own shop." He waited. He planned. He kept his tools safe. He believed in his dream. Part 3, A New Beginning. The war ended. Paris became safe again. People returned. Shops opened. Life started again. Louis returned too. But his old workshop was gone. It was broken. His tools were dirty. He had to start again. He was sad, but he was not afraid. He found a small room. It was not big, but it had light. It had space. He cleaned it. He placed his tools. He said, "This is my new beginning." Louis worked alone. He made one box at a time. He used light canvas instead of leather. It was strong and light. It did not smell bad when wet. It was good for travel. He also used his flat top idea again. He added gray and beige colors. It looked clean and modern. People saw his boxes. They said, "This is new." They told their friends. Orders came again. In 1854, Louis opened his own shop in Paris. It was small, but it was his dream. The sign on the door said Louis Vuitton packager to the Empress of France. Louis smiled when he saw the sign. His hands had made every box. His name was on the door. He was proud. Rich people came. They wanted his boxes for long trips. His trunks were strong, pretty, and easy to carry. Louis worked with his son Georges. Georges watched his father. He learned too. Louis said one day, "This shop will be yours." Georges nodded. He was happy. They worked together. They made more designs. They added new ideas. One day, Georges said, "Let's make a special design so others cannot copy us." So they made a pattern with the letters L and V. They added flowers and shapes. It was new. It was smart. It was the start of the famous Louis Vuitton pattern. Louis was older now, but he still came to the shop every day. He looked at each box. He touched each trunk. He said it must be perfect. He told Georges, "Never stop learning. Never stop working with love." Part 4. The brand grows. Louis became a famous name. People from other countries started to hear about his trunks. Travelers from England, Italy, and even America asked for his special boxes. Georges had many new ideas too. He wanted to take the business to the next level. "Let's open a store outside of France," he said. Louis smiled. He trusted his son. So Georges opened a store in London. Then he opened one in New York. The name Louis Vuitton was now known around the world. They worked very hard. They trained new workers. These workers learned the same careful way. Louis said every stitch must be strong. Every line must be straight. The shop became busy. More people came each day. Some were rich. Some were famous. But Louis treated all with respect. Louis also made bags for women. He saw that ladies liked to travel with style. So he made small bags with the same strong design. They were light, pretty, and smart. The women loved them. Then Georges had a very big idea. He said, "Let's protect our brand." So he made the LV monogram even more special. It was hard to copy. This helped the business stay safe. Louis was old now. He walked slowly, but he still came to the shop. He still looked at each bag. He still gave advice. One day, Georges said, "Father, you started this dream. Now the whole world knows your name." Louis smiled. "Yes, but remember, Georges, it began with one small bag, one strong dream, and many hours of work." Soon after, Louis passed away. He was 70 years old. He left behind a great gift, a company built on care, design, and love. But the story did not end there. Georges took over. He made the company even bigger. He opened more shops. He made more designs. And he never forgot what his father taught him. Work with love. Make it perfect. Part 5. A legacy that lives on. After Louis passed away, Georges became the leader of the company. He worked hard to protect his father's name and dream. He wanted every product to show quality and pride. Georges traveled to many countries. He met new clients. He told them the story of his father, the boy from a small town, who became a great maker of trunks. He opened more stores in Europe, Asia, and America. The name Louis Vuitton became a symbol. It meant style, travel, and strong dreams. But success was not easy. Some people tried to copy the brand. They made fake bags with the LV logo. Georges fought to protect the brand. He used law and smart designs. He made the company stronger. He also made the trunks better. He added locks that only the owner could open. They were safe and new. People loved this idea. They felt their things were safe with Louis Vuitton. Then Georges trained his son Gaston. He said, "You are the next generation. Our name is strong. Keep it honest. Keep it true." Gaston listened. He learned. He worked in the shop. He talked to customers. He studied new styles. He said, "We must stay modern, but always respect the past." Louis Vuitton now made more than trunks. They made wallets, handbags, and travel clothes. Everything had the same goal: beauty, quality, and care. Years passed. The world changed. Airplanes came. People traveled faster. But they still needed good bags. Louis Vuitton stayed famous. The family kept the spirit of Louis alive. They told his story again and again. They said, "He started with one idea. He worked with his hands. He never gave up." Today, Louis Vuitton is more than a name. It is a symbol of dreams, of work, of love for craft. In every store, in every bag, his spirit lives on. And people still remember the young boy who once said, "I want to make my own bag." Part 6. Style and Innovation. Gaston, Louis Vuitton's grandson, had new ideas. He loved art and design. He wanted the brand to stay beautiful and modern. He said, "We must follow fashion but keep our heart." He invited artists to help design new bags. They brought colors, patterns, and fresh styles. The brand began to mix tradition with new trends. People loved it. Gaston also made the stores more special. He wanted each store to feel like a home. He said, when people walk in, they must feel welcome. So the stores used warm lights, soft colors, and kind workers. At the same time, Louis Vuitton started making catalogs. These were little books with pictures of the products. People could see the bags, prices, and styles before visiting the store. This was a smart idea. It helped the brand grow more. Gaston also loved books. He opened a library in the company. He said, knowledge is important. A smart designer makes smart products. The world changed again. There were two big wars. They made travel hard. But Louis Vuitton stayed strong. The company worked through hard times. They saved money, helped workers, and made fewer products. After the wars, people wanted to travel again. They wanted beauty, fun, and style. Louis Vuitton answered their call. They made new travel bags, new fashion, and new dreams. Then came airplanes. Now people needed lighter bags. So the company created soft suitcases and weekend bags. They used canvas, strong zippers, and new handles. The bags were light but still very strong. Business people also wanted smart bags. So Louis Vuitton made briefcases. Artists wanted tools to carry brushes and colors. Louis Vuitton made custom boxes for them too. The company listened to customers. They said, tell us what you need. We will build it. Gaston made one special rule: each Louis Vuitton item must be useful and beautiful. Workers followed this rule every day. The LV logo became world famous. It stood for hard work, good design, and family pride. People all over the world saw the pattern and felt respect. Gaston passed the company to the next leaders, but the heart of the company stayed the same. Part 7. A Modern World. As the 20th century moved forward, the world changed fast. New music, new clothes, and new ideas filled the streets. Young people wanted fashion that showed their dreams. Louis Vuitton needed to grow with them. The company now had many new workers. Designers, artists, and tailors joined. They came from many countries. They brought ideas and passion. They said, let's make bags for the next generation. One new designer was George's great-grandchild. He had the Vuitton name and spirit. He said, we respect our past, but we must speak to today. So the company started to work with new materials, colorful leather, bright prints, and even plastic. They kept the strong quality but added fun. Then came a big step. Louis Vuitton started making clothes. It was a new idea. They made coats, dresses, and shoes. People were excited. The brand was now not only about travel but also about fashion. They opened big stores in big cities: Tokyo, New York, Hong Kong, and more. Each store had art, music, and style. People came not only to buy but to enjoy. They also used the internet. The company made a website. Now anyone in the world could see the bags and clothes online. This helped the brand grow even more. Louis Vuitton also worked with artists. One artist painted bright faces on the bags. Another added cartoon animals. These styles were different but still special. Some people were surprised. They asked, why change the bags? But others said, it is fun, it is fresh. We love it. The brand now had two hearts: tradition and modern style. They lived side by side. Even with all this change, the company kept the old ways too. Each bag was still made by hand. Workers used the same tools, same care, and same love. They checked each stitch, each zipper, each button, and each worker remembered the story of Louis, the boy who walked to Paris with one bag and a dream. The modern world is fast, but the heart of Louis Vuitton stays slow and strong. They say, we do not just make bags, we make dreams you can carry. Part 8. The Power of Collaboration. In the 2000s, Louis Vuitton began working with famous artists and designers from around the world. These partnerships brought new energy and new eyes to the brand. One of the most famous collaborations was with Takashi Murakami, a Japanese artist. He brought bright colors and playful faces to the classic LV pattern. His work was full of fun and surprise. People loved it. The bags sold quickly. Celebrities wore them. Young people lined up outside stores to get one. Then came other artists. Steven Sprouse added graffiti letters to the LV logo. Yai Kusama used dots and bright red and yellow. These were not traditional looks, but they were bold and exciting. Some people said, this is not the Louis Vuitton we know. But others said, this is art. This is now. The company said, we welcome new ideas. We are not only a brand. We are a part of culture, At the same time, Louis Vuitton became part of a bigger company called LVMH. It joined with other luxury names like Dior and Mo. Together they became a strong family of fashion and beauty. Under LVMH, Louis Vuitton had more support. They could open more stores, train more workers, and reach more people. They also cared about the earth. They started using green energy in their buildings. They made strong bags that lasted many years. They said, a good bag should be used for life, not just for a season. The company also supported art schools. They helped young people learn design and business. They wanted to grow the next Louis Vuitton, someone with big dreams and big hands. In Paris, they opened the Fondation Louis Vuitton, a beautiful glass building full of modern art. It was not a store. It was a gift to the city and the world. It said, we care about beauty, not just fashion. Even as Louis Vuitton became more famous, they stayed true to their past. They told the story of Louis again and again. They said he was not born rich. He worked, he learned, he dreamed, and he never gave up. Part 9. Fashion Leadership and Global Respect. As Louis Vuitton entered the 21st century, it became more than a maker of bags. It became a leader in fashion. Every year, people waited for the new collections. What colors would they use? What shapes? What stories? The brand hired top designers. One of the most famous was Marc Jacobs. He came from America and brought fresh style. He loved mixing old and new. He said, Louis Vuitton is history, but history can be playful. Marc Jacobs helped start Louis Vuitton's ready-to-wear fashion line clothes that people could wear every day. He made bold shows with music, lights, and models walking like they were in a dream. Then came Nicolas Guesquire. He was also a famous designer. His clothes were sharp, modern, and smart. He kept the strong spirit of the brand but added a space-age feel. His shows made people smile and think. Louis Vuitton also made shoes, sunglasses, belts, and even perfumes. Each item had the same care and design. Nothing was simple, everything had meaning. The brand also began to use famous people as ambassadors. Stars like Emma Stone, Alicia Vikander, and BTS wore the clothes and shared the dream. They helped bring Louis Vuitton to young fans. At the same time, Louis Vuitton stayed strong in its values. It opened training centers for workers. It said, every bag starts with a person. We must train them well. They also honored women. Many of their leaders were now women. They said, fashion is for everyone. And so is power. In Africa, Asia, and Latin America, Louis Vuitton stores became symbols of beauty and hope. People walked past and said, one day, I will have that bag. It became a goal, a dream, a prize. But the brand also gave back. It helped after big storms and fires. It gave money to schools and hospitals. It said, success means sharing. Through every change, the name Louis Vuitton stayed respected. It meant quality, it meant care, it meant story. And people still asked, who was Louis Vuitton? And they heard again he was a young boy full of hope, with a bag in his hand and a dream in his heart. Part 10. A dream that never ends. Louis Vuitton today is one of the most famous names in the world. It is not just a brand. It is a story of family, work, and dreams. Each store tells this story in a quiet way. The windows show bags and clothes like art. The workers speak with care. The floors shine. The walls have history. People walk in and feel special. The workers still learn the old way by hand. They use leather, canvas, and thread. They sit at tables and sew with love. They remember the rule: it must be perfect. Every product goes through checks. Nothing is sold unless it meets the highest level. This is the promise of Louis Vuitton. In schools, students now study the company. They learn how it grew, how it changed, how it stayed strong. They say, it is not just fashion. It is a lesson in life. And still, new ideas come. In recent years, the company added technology to their bags. Some bags have trackers. Some change colors. Some are made from recycled bottles. The brand walks into the future. They also honor the past. In Louis' hometown, there is now a museum. People visit to see his first tools, his first bag, his handwriting. Children read his story and feel hope. They learn he was not rich, he was not lucky. But he worked, he learned, he kept going. Louis' face is now in books, his name is in museums. But his spirit is in the hearts of people who dare to dream. And so, the story ends where it began, with a young boy, a simple bag, and the road to Paris. He walked slowly but with purpose. He worked carefully but with fire. He dreamed not of gold or fame, but of making something great, and he did. Part 11. The importance of craftsmanship. In the heart of every Louis Vuitton item, there is one word: craftsmanship. This means skill, care, and love in making something by hand, even now. With big machines and fast tools, Louis Vuitton still uses the hands of trained workers to shape each bag, wallet, and trunk. The company has special places called ateliers, workshops, where skilled people work every day. These ateliers are in France, and also in other countries like Spain and the United States. Each worker learns for months, sometimes years. They study leather, how it smells, how it bends, how it feels. They learn to cut it clean, sew it tight, and glue it safe. They don't rush. They check every step. One bag can take over 30 hours to finish. And even after that, another worker checks it again. Why so much care? Because Louis Vuitton believes every bag is not just a product, it is a story, a memory, a piece of art. Customers feel this. When they hold a real Louis Vuitton item, they feel the smooth leather, the perfect lines, the quiet strength. They know it will last for many years. The workers also feel proud. Some of them stay with the company for 20 or 30 years. They say, "We are not just making bags, we are continuing a dream." And Louis Vuitton thanks them. The company gives awards to the best workers. They tell their stories too. They show their photos in books and stores. In this way, the brand does not forget who builds it, not just designers or leaders, but the hands that sew each stitch. This spirit of craftsmanship also helps the planet. Because good bags last long, people do not throw them away. They fix them. They keep them. Some even pass them down to their children. In a fast world, Louis Vuitton teaches us slow is strong, care is beautiful, and the hand still matters. And so, the dream of Louis the boy, who watched his parents work with leather, continues with every needle, every thread, every quiet moment in the workshop. Part 12. The Global Family. Louis Vuitton is now a global family. It has shops in over 60 countries. People of all ages, colors, and languages wear and love the brand. But the company still keeps its heart close, a heart made from family, trust, and vision. Inside the Louis Vuitton team, many workers have stayed for years. They say, "We are not just employees, we are part of a family." The leaders know their names. They share meals. They celebrate holidays together. Every year, new workers join. They come with energy and ideas. The older workers teach them the story of Louis. They say, "This name means something. Work with care, work with love." Louis Vuitton also supports many local communities. In Brazil, they help students learn fashion. In Kenya, they support clean water. In India, they train women to make strong bags. The dream is now shared. In every store, people come for more than bags. They come for a feeling of pride, of beauty, of history. They look at the shelves and see not just products, but a world. The stores are special. Some have cafes, some have art galleries, some even hold music shows. Each one tells a story in a new way. The workers in the stores learn about people. They greet each visitor with respect. They listen to their needs. They show them options. They wrap each bag with care. Customers say, "When I enter a Louis Vuitton store, I feel welcome. I feel seen." This is not just good service, it is part of the dream. Louis wanted everyone to feel valued, from the person who made the bag to the one who carries it. The company also creates events to celebrate its history. In big cities, they hold pop-up shows and art displays. They invite young people to learn and create. They say, "The story of Louis is not finished. It lives in you." All over the world, people wear Louis Vuitton with pride, not because it is expensive, but because it carries a dream born in a small French town and shared with the whole world. Part 13. From generation to generation. Louis Vuitton is not just about fashion, it is about family. The company began with a father and son. Today, that same spirit of passing wisdom still lives on. In many families around the world, a Louis Vuitton bag becomes a gift between generations. A mother gives her daughter a handbag when she turns 18. A grandfather gives a travel trunk to his grandson who is going abroad. The bag carries more than clothes, it carries love. These bags become family treasures. They hold memories: a first trip, a wedding day, a dream job, and because they are strong and beautiful, they stay with families for years. In the company itself, families work side by side. A father may teach his child how to sew the perfect line. A mother may show her daughter how to cut the leather. Each stitch is a story. Each tool is a gift of knowledge. Louis Vuitton respects these family links. They invite workers' children to visit the ateliers. They hold events to thank longtime families. They say, "We are not only building bags, we are building history." Some families even collect Louis Vuitton pieces. They study the old trunks, the rare bags, the first catalog pages. They learn about the brand like it is their own family story. Collectors write books. They open small museums. They tell friends about the time they found a special piece in a vintage shop. For them, Louis Vuitton is more than fashion, it is a living timeline. The company supports this history. They keep archives, big rooms filled with old bags, notes, drawings, and tools. Designers study them before making new collections. They say, "We must know where we come from." And where does it come from? From Louis, a young boy with eyes full of wonder, from his son Georges, who carried the dream, from each worker, who adds their care, and now, from each person, in every country, who carries a piece of that dream on their shoulder or in their hand. Louis Vuitton is a name, yes, but also a family. And the story is not over. Part 14, Challenges and Strength. Even the greatest companies face hard times. Louis Vuitton is no different. The journey has not always been easy, but each challenge made the company stronger. In the early years, war closed cities and slowed work. During World War II, shops closed and factories stopped. The company had to wait and protect what it had. Later, in the modern age, other challenges appeared. Fake products started to spread. People made copies of Louis Vuitton bags and sold them for cheap. This hurt the brand, but the company fought back. They created better locks, unique designs, and special labels. They also used smart lawyers to stop the fakes. They said, "We protect the work of our hands." Then came the age of fast fashion. Other brands made clothes and bags quickly and cheaply. Some people asked, "Why should I pay more for a Louis Vuitton bag?" The answer was clear: because it lasts, because it has a story, because it is made with care. The company made videos to show how their bags are made. They invited people to visit the workshops. They said, "Come see why we are different." Then came a new challenge: the digital world. People started shopping online. They did not come to stores anymore. Louis Vuitton had to change again. They built a beautiful website. They trained workers to talk with customers online. They sent bags to homes with the same care they used in stores. They made digital shows with music and videos for people to enjoy from anywhere. Then, a global pandemic hit. Stores closed again. Travel stopped. People stayed at home. The company worried, would people still want fashion? But they stayed strong. They made masks. They helped hospitals. They worked safely in small teams. They showed that the heart of Louis Vuitton was not just style, it was care. And when the world opened again, the people came back. They said, "We missed your spirit." Through all of this, Louis Vuitton stayed true. The same hands kept sewing. The same dream kept shining. They said, "We may change our tools, but we never change our soul." Part 15, The Art of Innovation. Louis Vuitton has always honored tradition, but it has also loved innovation. From the very beginning, Louis tried new things: flat trunks, canvas materials, and special locks. That love for what's next still lives in the brand. In the last 10 years, Louis Vuitton has done more than just follow fashion. It has led the way. For example, they created the LV twist bag, which used a smart metal lock shaped like the letters L and V. When you turn the L, it becomes a V. It's playful, modern, and still elegant. They also made the Horizon suitcase, a smart travel bag with strong wheels, lightweight, and a phone charger inside, perfect for the modern traveler. Then came new shows, not just fashion runways, but big events with music, film, and digital art. One show used a train on stage, another used robots. These were not just clothes, they were stories in motion. Louis Vuitton also embraced the metaverse, the digital world online. They created games, virtual bags, and digital art collections. People could explore the brand on screens, not just in shops. At first, some people asked, "Is this really fashion?" But the company said, "Yes, fashion is about how we live, dream, and express." And today, we dream in new places. They also use new fabrics. Some were made from apples, some from corn. These are called biomaterials. They are better for the earth. The company said, "We want to be beautiful and kind." Young designers also got their chance. Louis Vuitton started programs for students and fresh artists. They said, "Show us your idea. Let us help you build it." Some of these young voices made new bags, new shoes, even new sounds for fashion shows. In this way, Louis Vuitton stayed alive not just by looking back, but by looking forward. They said, "We honor the past, we dream of the future, and we act today." And all of this, the ideas, the risks, the surprises, came from the same heart, the spirit of a boy who once wanted to build a better bag. Part 16 Stories in Every Stitch. Every Louis Vuitton bag tells a story. Not only the story of the brand, but also the personal story of the person who carries it. Some people buy their first Louis Vuitton bag after many years of saving. They see it as a prize for their hard work. Others receive it as a gift from someone they love. It becomes a symbol of a birthday, a wedding, or a new job. And then, some people find vintage bags, old pieces from the past. These bags may have small marks, worn corners, or faded colors. But to collectors, these signs are not damage, they are history. The company understands this. That's why Louis Vuitton now helps people fix old bags. They have special services to clean, repair, and restore items. They say, "We don't just make things, we care for them." Inside the workshop, skilled hands replace zippers, sew new threads, and match the colors perfectly. After that, the bag is ready to tell a new chapter of its story. People write letters to Louis Vuitton. They say, "This bag has been with me for 20 years. It traveled with me across 3 continents. It held my child's first shoes. Thank you." Others share photos online. My grandmother's Louis Vuitton trunk is now in my living room. It holds family albums and love letters. These stories connect people across time. Even celebrities and artists speak about their bags. A singer says, "This bag was with me during my first tour." A writer says, "I carried my notebooks in it when I wrote my first book." Louis Vuitton listens to these voices. They share them in books, in magazines, and on screens. They remind the world it's not just fashion, it's memory. In every stitch, there is someone's dream. In every pattern, someone's hope. In every handle, someone's journey. And that's why the name Louis Vuitton still matters. Because it is not only about what is made, it is about how it is lived. A story of a bag becomes a story of a life, and the legacy continues, one person at a time. Part 17. The Spirit of Travel. From the beginning, Louis Vuitton was about travel. Louis made boxes for people who journeyed far. He believed travel could change lives, open hearts, and grow minds. That belief remains strong today. Louis Vuitton still makes beautiful bags for travel, suitcases, backpacks, duffels, and more. But the company also celebrates the idea of travel in deeper ways. It supports artists who explore new cultures. It sends photographers around the world to capture moments of beauty in unknown places. It invites writers to describe how travel changes them. They also publish special books, travel guides for big cities like Tokyo, New York, Paris, and Rio. But these books are not just about hotels or museums. They tell stories. They show the secret places, the local food, the small details that travelers often miss. Louis Vuitton also builds exhibitions in many countries. These shows teach people about the brand's history, but also about the spirit of discovery. They show how bags were made for ocean ships, trains, and even early airplanes. And they ask a simple question: where would you go if you could go anywhere? Because travel is not only about places, it is about dreams. Louis Vuitton says, every journey starts with a dream, and every dream needs a good bag. The company also supports travel with heart. They help protect old traditions in small villages. They buy art from local hands. They support nature in wild places. They say, "The world gives us so much. We must give back." And so, the idea of travel once only for the rich becomes a gift to all. A way to learn, connect, and grow. In this way, Louis Vuitton stays close to its roots. Because Louis, the boy from Anche, once walked hundreds of kilometers to follow his dream. That was his first journey. And now, millions of people travel with his name by their side. They cross cities, borders, and oceans. And with each step, they carry not just clothes but the spirit of adventure, discovery, and hope. Part 18. Education and the Future. Louis Vuitton believes in learning, not just for its own team, but for people everywhere. The company knows that knowledge builds dreams, just like it did for Louis himself. In France, they open schools inside their workshops. These are called écoles de savoir-faire, schools of know-how. Here, young people learn to cut leather, sew straight lines, and build strong bags. They are taught by masters who have worked for years. But it's not only about skills. They also teach patience, teamwork, and respect. The students learn that every step matters, that beauty comes from care. After learning, some students stay and work with Louis Vuitton. Others take their skills to new places. Either way, they carry the spirit of craftsmanship. The company also visits high schools and colleges. They speak to students about design, fashion, and business. They say, "Your dream can be real. Start with your hands. Start with your heart." In other countries, they support young artists and designers too. In Africa, they fund art schools. In Asia, they hold design contests. In Latin America, they support local crafts. Louis Vuitton believes every place has talent, and every child has potential. That's why they also give scholarships. They pay for students to study fashion, art, or business in top schools. Many of these students come from small towns, just like Louis did. And when they succeed, they remember someone believed in me. Louis Vuitton also shares what it learns in books, online videos, and museum shows. It tells its story. It shows the tools, the bags, the people. It says, we are proud of our past, and we want to inspire the future. They also talk about mistakes, times when things were hard. They teach that success comes from trying again, because Louis, the founder, did not become great in one day. He walked, he worked, he waited, and he never gave up. That lesson still lives today in every young hand that holds a tool, in every young mind that dares to dream. And so, the story continues, through learning, through sharing, through growing. Part 19, a name that means more, today. The name Louis Vuitton means more than just fashion. It stands for something bigger, a set of values, a way of thinking, a feeling that touches people around the world. It stands for quality. Every item is made with care, tested for strength, and designed to last. Whether it's a small wallet or a large trunk, each piece shows pride in the work. It stands for style. Louis Vuitton is always changing, but always elegant. It mixes art and fashion, past and future, soft and bold. It tells stories in every detail. It stands for history. Every bag carries the memory of Louis, the boy who believed in beauty and effort. Every stitch honors the hands that came before, but most of all, it stands for belief, the belief that dreams matter. Louis Vuitton has always believed that someone with a small start can build a big future, that hard work brings results, that creativity is powerful, that a single idea, if cared for, can grow into something the whole world can see. People feel that when they carry an LV bag, it gives them confidence. It reminds them you are strong. You can travel far. You have a story too. Some wear the name because they love fashion. Some wear it because it connects them to their culture. Others wear it to mark a special day in life. But for all, it is more than a name. It is a signal that beauty matters, that dreams are possible, and that some things are made not just to be sold, but to be remembered. Louis Vuitton continues to make new designs, open new stores, and explore new ideas. But through every change, it never forgets where it came from. A young boy, a small bag, a long walk to Paris, and a dream that never stopped growing. Part 20, the legacy lives on. The story of Louis Vuitton began with one boy and one dream. Today, it continues in millions of hands, hearts, and homes around the world. The company has grown beyond anything young Louis could have imagined. But in every store, every bag, and every design, his spirit is still there. It's in the way each stitch is made with care. It's in the quiet pride of the workers who say, I helped create this. It's in the joy of someone buying their first bag after years of hope. And it's in the eyes of a child looking up at a shop window, thinking, one day, that will be mine. Louis' name has become a legend, but not because he was rich or famous. At first he was not. It became a legend because he worked with love, dreamed without fear, and never stopped learning. The world knows his name, but more important, the world knows his values, craftsmanship, patience, beauty, purpose. As the future unfolds, Louis Vuitton will continue to grow, to change, to innovate, but it will always return to its heart of belief in the power of dreams. So when you see that LV logo on a trunk, a wallet, or a runway dress, remember this. It began with a boy who believed he could build something better, and he did. And now, you can too.